welcome to a super special one-on-one experience today. I'm so delighted because it's been this massive chapter of our CAM4 life, our experience on Below Deck Down Under. And that's why today is so important. We finally get our one-on-one chance to talk to Adam, who was, of course, a deckhand on the boat itself, on the yacht. Every time I tell the story, someone corrects me and says yacht. And, it's a yacht. I get it. And Adam, you've been very much enmeshed in our CAM4 family ever since.
No, thank you for allowing me to come into your family. You guys are unbelievable people.
We love you. It's like a strange obsession that we have with Adam. I mean, we loved everyone on the boat, but Adam seems to be the heartthrob, the best friend, and the guy that no one can get off their brain. So for everyone that's kind of, dazzled at the chance to have this one-on-one with you, I'm going to try and cater to their curiosities. And you know that all of our audience is wondering, what was your first impression of us CAM4 content creators when we stepped aboard the yacht?
From afar, you guys look pretty intimidating, but you guys' energy was just unbelievable. And I think it is a pretty intimidating thing, even, people from the industry. But once you kind of shake a hand and meet you guys, it's like, oh my God, these are the sweetest people in the world. I know this may not be the best things to say, but you guys are definitely my favorite guests.
That's a big compliment, but to be honest, in our industry, the bigger compliment is that we were intimidating upon arrival. We were nervous because it's a big thing. I mean, we broadcast for our audiences on our platform, but this was a big, real deal reality TV show. So what you did know about us being in the adult industry, did any of that set you up for some expectations? Did we surprise you in any way?
I don't know. Maybe I met like one girl at a party in New York, and she was just very stuck up, very like full of herself. So maybe I thought she represented everyone, but no, you guys were literally nothing less than amazing. The best way I could put it.
Yeah, I think that we come forth with a lot of love. And it was a group of us that truly do love each other. So we were very excited to be on that adventure together. I am looking for the exact moment that you did fall in love with us. Was there a moment, maybe on that trip, maybe in the aftermath of the trip, where you said, okay, wait, I love these people?
I think it was a specific moment, but there wasn't a moment that you guys were unbelievably nice and cordial and kind. And I could not think of a bad thing to say about you.
Well, that's really beautiful. And makes
true.
Me melt.
It's true. I'm the type of person, I don't care what's going on. Like money, fame, whatever, doesn't really matter. If you're not a good person, I don't give a shit. And I'm not going to interact with you, You guys are incredible.
Everyone's asking if you're going to get into the adult industry.
Maybe in another life.
Yeah, they really want you to, though. Mainly me and Sky. It's me and Sky that have these like long, fantastical fever dreams about you getting into the business. So just know that we're your biggest cheerleaders. What was some of the feedback that you got online, in your DMs? What did people say about you being a part of that show?
I think they were mostly just surprised. Pretty private person, So they're kind of surprised that I would do something like that. It was just like a lot of like coolness, like, dude, like you're on TV, like that's fucking crazy, I got flown out there, we did the show, and then it was kind of over before I could even realize what was going on. But yeah, when like everything hit, obviously there's good and bad. There's definitely a lot of like unknown. It's kind of living in like fear for a little bit, like what's gonna happen. I definitely think that the good outweighed the bad, and it's been an incredible experience.
It was a fast kind of fame, wasn't it?
Sure. It's like, you see who is your friend, that type of way. And as I said, I'm really a genuine person. So anyone that kind of reached out after that and like now I want to be your friend type of way, fuck yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you. That's some fake ass shit right there. But that's a lot of how the world goes, right? Like that's how instant fame and celebrity can really draw a crowd of people that you don't need in your life. Okay, so let's fast forward because obviously we were kind of riding that wave of people loving the episodes so much. I mean, my DMs were flooded. I saw a huge boost to some of my subscribers on my platforms, and that was so much fun and wonderful and exciting. But then right when I thought the excitement had kind of died down, we got a little piece of news about the AVN nomination. Now, for people that don't know, the AVNs are like the adult industry Oscars, the Academy Awards. This is the top tier in recognizing innovation and excellence in the industry. And our episodes of Below Deck Down Under were nominated for mainstream crossover. So
Yeah.
it was wild to see that happen, to be recognized in that way. Did you ever think in this lifetime you would be nominated for an AVN award?
No, definitely not at all. That was some pretty cool news.
Yeah. And then to make it even cooler, we all got together and met up in Las Vegas. And this is really the story that I need you to tell right now, Adam. I need to know what the experience of attending the AVNs was like for you. Give me some of your highlights. Give me the emotions that you experienced. I want all of it.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, when I got invited, I was just like, this is honestly, I think it was so cool because after meeting you guys, it's like, it's just going to be a party of full, like, great people. It's the coolest party I've ever been to. And, flying to Las Vegas, I felt like I was in a movie. Like, I'm not going to play it cool. That shit was dope. You know what I mean? Like, being at the airport, checking into the hotel, like, yeah, I'm here for this. You know what I mean? Like, playing into it a little bit. It was so cool. Getting in the hotel room, coming and meeting you at the convention, looking around, like everyone was so nice. That's like the best way I could describe the entire event was just everyone was so genuinely nice. It was cool seeing, people's the perception they play, like the character they play, and then when they kind of unwind and switch out of it, and it's just amazing. Like the amazing people behind the character they play is just like I said, it's just unbelievable. And when we went to the awards, I honestly couldn't believe what was going on. I was in awe and being there with you guys was just, there's no one else I'd rather have been there with. It was great.
It was such a heated, like packed couple days. I love what you said about seeing people in the real world and then comparing them to, say, their personas in the professional realm, because you're the kind of person that doesn't have that separation. You are just you through and through.
Yeah. Yeah. But, I think it's a different type of entertainment. It was
Yeah.
reality TV. So I think that's why I fit so well in that. But I mean, it's fantasy. That's what it's
Yeah.
supposed to do. They want to see the character.
Yeah, and some people really diving into that character is the key to their success. So I always say it's whatever path works best for you and keeps you sane along the way. But I heard that there was a bit of a challenge in getting your passes and some last minute adventures in the line to pick up your red carpet and award show tickets. Do you remember that day?
Yeah, I remember we showed up and, I'm all hyped because everything's been going smooth. And then I go to the guy, I'm like, what's going on? Like, Adam below deck, I get my tickets. And he was like, you're not in the system. I was like, sure. Like, what do you mean I'm not in the system? And I stand outside. I was trying to talk to some of the guys walking in. I was like, hey, man, like, basically it just ended up, I just had bought a day pad, came in. And so it was all good. It went smooth from there. But it was definitely funny. Like, it was like when your car gets declined at the bar in front of everybody. It's like, no. I was like, okay.
That is totally it. But then we had the adventure of the red carpet, which, look, I've done a lot of them throughout my career and professional experiences, but that was a really intense lineup. We waited, how long was that line? Like at least a couple of hours?
Yeah, 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
How did you stay motivated? How did you keep yourself entertained? I mean, I know, but the people need to know.
Sure. I kind of just looked around me. I found my entertainment from back side to side. I think I went live for a couple minutes. That was fun. I think that was the first time I ever gone live. So it was just a whole cool thing. I made some friends with people from this other production company and they kind of walked by. I was like, say what's up to the live. And it was just a cool experience, like playing into it and just enjoying every second. But it definitely was a long fucking line. I got starstruck and it was very cool.
Yes, we did do a live stream. I was so happy that you did that. You need to be doing more of that. Adam, people want to hear from you on the regular. You need to turn on your Instagram lives.
I do have to take it a little more serious. And it is cool,
Yeah.
like expressing like my love for hip hop and skateboarding like today. So
Yeah.
I think you're right.
Yeah, and it's the littlest things that are authentically you that people want. I used to always get in my head about like polishing some big theatrical experience for people, and that's just not it sometimes, especially when you're someone who has this reality TV background where you've been playing yourself. They want more of it. And I saw you light up when we were at those awards. I saw you. Like even the red carpet. Remember me? I was livid. I was so miserable in my high heels and in my tight corset that I just, at one point, I bailed. I went outside. I kicked my shoes off. I took off the corset, did a couple of like deep breaths, and it can be very exhausting. But you were such a source of like motivation to just keep doing it and like have fun. And watching you enjoy it was energizing as fuck.
I'm glad I could provide that energy. And yeah,
Hell
honestly, I
yeah.
think if I was in high heels and a corset, I'd be pretty pissed too. I was able to
Totally.
chill in my talk,
Yeah, it
but
was a dumb
yeah, like you
move.
said, it was
But
amazing.
well, I looked phenomenal, Adam.
You did. You look drop dead gorgeous.
Is there something that the general public doesn't understand or doesn't know about the adult industry, the people that are in it, the missions that we're on, the way that we live our lives? Is there something that you wish rest of the knew?
Yeah, I think the mentality of a lot of people that are in this industry is like the models are bulletproof and you could kind of just beat on them and say like the most hurtful things in the world and kind of take out your own mental fucking problems on them. And that's just fucking disgusting. Like, I know I've had some friends, not even friends, 'cause they're not friends no more. I told them go fuck themselves because the things they would say, like, oh, you're there with fucking these people or something like that. I'm like, bro, these people are 1,000 times fucking nicer than you. I would hang out with these people 1,000 times over fucking hanging out with you. Like, goodbye, I blocked a bunch of people. And it's just unbelievable because everyone watches porn. You know what I mean? Everyone at some point in their life has watched porn. And it's like, why are you talking shit? I don't
Yeah.
understand the idea of talking shit about anyone unless they're being a dick first. But
Yeah.
I just couldn't believe it. Like, people just want to be mean to people in the adult industry. These girls that are just expressing themselves. And going back to what we were talking about playing the character, I think that's awesome. It's just like a piece of art, you know, you're expressing yourself through your art. And that's cool. Like live your life. Don't worry about other people. Why would you ever want to bring someone else down?
I think what you're saying is that we're human beings. And I could not thank you enough for making that very clear. You would know after walking in those rooms and chatting, meeting people, like you were, as much as you say you're socially anxious in any which way, you worked those rooms. When you came into the convention, I saw you. You're going around, you're introducing yourself. Some people are recognizing you. And that was the coolest thing ever, you know, because you break down that barrier of what society says. Like you were in and you were being real with everybody. I love that.
Yeah, everyone, honestly, everyone had a smile on their face, you know, like it was cool seeing couples walking around, like a wife telling her husband, like, oh, get spanked. Like, that's funny. You know what I mean? Where else are you going to do that? If you're at the AVN
Exactly.
Expo or don't act
Yeah.
too cool or whatever.
So, what about the rest of the Below Deck cast? Did you hear from anyone that was maybe jealous? What was the reaction from anyone about you attending that?
Actually, not too many people reached out to me.
They're jealous.
Yeah, now that I think of it, I don't remember anyone saying anything significant. Maybe just like a like on the story or like that's cool or something. But yeah, you know, it's nothing memorable. I'm
Uh,
sure they would have loved to go. Thankfully, I got picked. That was like I said, I can't repeat it enough how cool that was. So yeah, I wish they were all there. That would have been crazy.
you know, when the category came up and we saw that it went to someone else, I did feel that little drop of, oh, I just really didn't think that there was a better suited nomination than
Yeah.
us when it comes to mainstream crossover. I mean, it's about as mainstream as it gets. And there was that little moment of drop. You and I weren't sitting together. I was in a different section of the theater, but you were with the others. You were with Johnny and you were with Sky and Vanna. Could you tell me what their reaction was?
No, I mean everybody was in disbelief. Like we thought they were joking. You know what I mean? Like so, I think everyone had it in their heads that we were gonna win, and you know it's a little suspicious that we didn't. I don't know.
Mm.
Like you said, you can't really get more mainstream than that. They can fucking keep their award. We'll keep their memories forever. And thankfully, we all connected through it. And that's, I wouldn't want anything more than that. I'm good with that.
I love that you said that because that is the redeeming element here. Is like we all met up after the awards show at that little bar, but we all met up and like, yeah, sure, we all, you know, bitched and moaned for about 10 seconds and then we were right back to cracking jokes, laughing and dancing. So I think that really like sums it up.
You hit it on the head.
What would be the future for you and our friendship? Or can we all stay friends?
Absolutely. You kidding me? I'm gonna be honest, like I said, I'm kind of a not closed off person. I like to use that word, but I kind of am. I only have a few people that I'm really close to that I even answer back. I definitely consider you and everyone else that was there genuine people, and I'm
Hmm.
so happy you guys are in my life.
I mean, it is so mutual. Like, it's really a beautiful bond. And, Sky threatened that he was coming back to New York sometime soon. And I said, oh boy, we're going to have one of those nights out, aren't we? So tell me, when you got home from the whole AVN Vegas experience, a lot of people, especially when it's your first time going, get something called the AVN flu. And it's not because hookups happened, it's because it's easy to burn yourself down with how much you do in a day when you're there and how late you stay up and how little you're like doing the basics like drinking some fucking water throughout the day.
I don't remember anything significant. I remember, thankfully, I took off an extra day of work, so I was able to kind of just nurse myself. I definitely hung out in bed and scrolled on my phone. Took a day to replenish my fluids and everything. Like you said, I don't think there was a drop of water that was drank that whole
No.
weekend.
And that's how it goes in Vegas regardless, but AVN is just this like extra next level party, right? It's wild. It's been so awesome. Awesome doesn't feel even appropriate enough to capture the enormity of this experience that we shared together. I look back on our times on the yacht, and you were very much like a beacon of comfort because of how real you are in the flood of cameras and producers and people running around. Like, you kind of look through that cloud of production to find someone to anchor to. And you're very genuine and you're very real. And that's, I think, partly, if not entirely, why we all fell so much in love with you.
It's very sweet. I'm not best at taking compliments, but one of the nicest things anyone's ever said to me. So you got me flustered a little bit.
Good. I hope so. And
Thank you.
please take that in, because we've been trying for about a year and a half now to find the words for how we feel about you. We intimidated you when we first stepped on the yacht. Just give you a little more of that.
I mean, other than the fact that you guys are all incredibly good looking, which is enough to intimidate anyone. I mean, the industry is just such an unknown thing. I mean, everyone watches porn, but no one thinks behind the lines. No one thinks like, all right, once the website's closed, fucking, how are these people? And I think it was just the unknown. I think the unknown was like the most intimidating, scary thing. So I think that's what it was. But oh my God, when you guys came on, like big smiles, fucking great energy, all that washed away. And it was just like, oh my God, like it's such a fucking delight to have these people.
We were kind of pussies, right?
I expected a little more, I'm not gonna lie. I was
I've
gonna go
seen
skiing on the boat, but
I know. I've seen episodes of this damn show, and I was like, thinking back on it, I was a little restrained. I was probably the most restrained out of everyone because, I'm also like the primary guest, and I don't want to be the biggest fuck up on this show right now. But, people have partied much harder on Below Deck than we did, right?
honestly, I'm not too familiar with the show. But I would think so. I definitely heard some things. I mean,
Yeah.
you guys were a fucking incredible time, no matter what. You don't got to be blacked out every single second of vacation. And I think you guys truly enjoyed it. Seeing like the look on your guys' face when we were on the beach and having dinners, and so it was a great time, nonetheless.
Adam, what do you think is ever going to happen with the unseen footage? Like that talent show, are we just never going to see it?
Yeah, that's some bullshit. I'm not gonna lie, because I was pretty excited to watch that back. The talent
Yeah.
show, the whole movie on the beach, a lot of things got cut.
A lot of things got cut, okay? Like, y'all think it was a spicy show? I have been screaming at my camera ever since the episode dropped. You don't know what you missed. I mean, there was like
Yeah,
a walk through the jungle where Johnny like skinned his knee open. Like, there's so much that they don't know, but I guess those are our memories to keep.
yeah, you're right. I like that way of thinking.
Yeah, that's for members only.
Members only.
All right. So if there was a final message that you have for CAM4, and it can be anything, you can just give us the finger, I don't care. What would it be for everyone at CAM4, straight from the heart of Adam?
You guys are such wonderful people. Anyone that I've ever met from CAM4, you guys are truly unbelievably sweet, and you guys are my people. You go out in the big world, and there's a million billion people. You guys are my people, and I'm so happy I met you guys. So So yeah, thank you for working with me. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to come to AVNs. It was fucking nuts. I still brag about it a little bit, you know?
You should. Adam, not everyone gets to go to the AVN, okay? Like, you're not in the industry and you got not just a pass. Bitch, you were on the red carpet. You were at the parties. You were at the convention. You were at the awards. Like, that does not happen to the regular civilian. So, for people that are watching, just know that this is a man with a certain glow about him, a glow that screams, I got spoiled rotten at the AVNs.
Yeah, more than one way.
We had a great time with you. And hopefully, we all get together again very soon. Adam, thank you so much for making time. I know you're such a busy New Yorker, and this was a bit of a last minute thing. So thank you. And please know that we will be savoring the memories of everything Below Deck and AVN and our love affair with Adam for the eternity to come.
I will be too, and thank you again for the opportunity.
All right, honey, you take care of yourself, and we'll see you somewhere down the crazy river, okay?
No doubt, catch me in the streets, skateboarding through the city.
Baby! Mwah. See ya!